We saved you once, and we saved you twice. And we're so sorry. That we couldn't save you again. I have been dreading this video for 3.5 weeks, and I can't put it off any longer. I've tried numerous times to sit and speak about this, and every time I either just start crying uncontrollably, I just can't stop crying, or it's too long, or I've forgotten important sections, and it just never feels right. So this just has to be the final time. Lenny passed away on around August 5th. And I have spent countless hours trying to decide how I want to talk about this. And I think that the best way for me to do it is to just tell you the gist of it. I have literally gone through the day before his death and the time after his death to the hour, going through every little detail that I possibly can think of, because that's what I need to get closure. But I don't think that that's necessary. It's just too hard for me to do it that way. Just a little bit of a backstory on Lenny. Lenny was the little brown fella that we pulled out of death row from Texas, Corpus Christi, Texas, 2 years ago. Lenny was a senior stray, and Lenny had a hard life. So we pulled him, we pulled Lenny from death row. We saved him by literally an hour, and he was in animal control, Corpus Christi, and he was described as a very sweet senior that was severely neglected and abused. And we were just shocked that we were able to make it happen in such a short period of time. But we got him, and Lenny had a rough life. He had a life of abuse, neglect, psychological trauma. We believe that Lenny was a bait dog for dog fights or something of that sort, because his teeth were all filed flat. He had numerous scars all over his face. His ears were shredded. He was just psychologically abused too. He was a broken soul when we got him, super skinny. And he came with what we knew was heartworm. He was in treatment for that, and we treated him for that. 6 months after we got him, he went into a life-threatening heart arrhythmia and just about died from that. So we went skiing today, and Lenny is not doing well. We think he's in an arrhythmia, and he can't move much. He won't drink, he won't eat. So I started an IV on him, and we're giving him some fluids. Poor Lenny. We were able to save him from that, getting him cardioverted, and he spent some time in intensive care down in Pullman, Washington. And it was suspected at that point that he had Chagas disease, and it was confirmed a couple of months later that he did in fact have Chagas disease, which is a parasitic disease common in the southern states that primarily affects the heart, the muscle of the heart. And Lenny was in the chronic phase of this Chagas disease. His titers were through the roof. So he'd had it for some time, and he did have heart problems. So he was on medications, like 5 different heart medications for that. And, man, it's just a rough go for him to get him to take his pills. And then he had we found out he had a big prostatic cyst. He had these bulges out of his little bum, and his bowels were being pushed on, and medication for that. And then we got him neutered, and that kind of corrected itself. But then he initially had problems going pee, and then after the surgery, after being neutered, then he had dribbling problems. He was on another 2 medications for that. He lost an eye because he had a tumor in his eye. Hi, sweetie. Hey, Lenny, look up. Hi, baby. Mama's sorry, Lenny. Just got home. Good, Lenny. Here's your chicken. No more pain once this is healed up. No more pain. He just had it so rough. And Lenny was our little sickly dog that we tried so hard to nurture and get him to thrive. It was always, always, always like every day. How's Lenny today? Did he go outside? Did he get his pills? Did he eat today? GI upset is another consequence of Chagas disease. And it wasn't really until we got Luna last December that we finally started to see him thriving for the first time. He loved Luna. Hey, Luna. Hi, Lenny. Are you protecting your girlfriend, Lenny? Are you protecting your girlfriend? Are you protecting your girlfriend? I just can't explain. Look at Lenny, look at how happy he is. He's following her all over the forest, bouncing around like a puppy. Lenny, you're alive! Get her! Get her, Lenny! Get her, Lenny! I missed the most of it. Get her, Lenny! Lenny was playing with Luna, trying to. Come on, everybody! Come on! Get her! Go, Luna! Go! Go! Get him! Like with all of his heart. Initially it was before he got neutered and she had just got spayed, but she was kind of in heat at the time and there was hormonal things there that were making Lenny so in love. But after that, they were just pals. He, for the first time, felt like he had a canine companion. And it was just so great to see him finally kind of acting like a dog. His death was unexpected. And the gist of it is that Sunday, September 4th, he disappeared from the driveway in the evening, and we looked for him all Sunday night since 5:30 Monday morning, tried to think of every commutation and permutation of the scenarios of what could have happened, where could he have gone. We were desperate. The neighbors were helping us look. We had tried calling and hiring a hound tracking company out of Vancouver to see if they could bring their tracking dogs. They later got to us Monday night and said that they couldn't come because they were short-staffed. And at the last minute, we thought of a girl that I work with whose husband hunts. called her, asked her if they would be willing to come or if she'd be willing to come and bring one of the dogs. And she said she would. And so she came out Tuesday morning, and Sadie found Lenny passed away 25 feet from where he last was seen in the driveway, in the one spot no one looked because it was a deep ditch that led nowhere other than to a fence. And he was passed away. And obviously it's presumed that Lenny went into another heart arrhythmia and went to the one place that he'd never really ever gone before, none of the dogs went to, and he died there. And that's all I'm going to say about it. We have a lot of guilt still about the fact that we couldn't find him. How did we not look in that spot? He was under thick shrub in like a hole, and he blends in with the earth, and we'd walk by him and didn't see him. And it breaks our hearts over and over again. But nothing changes it. Nothing changes it. It's been 3.5 weeks, and I'm still, obviously, heartbroken. It's different when you lose a pet that you're expecting to pass versus a dog versus a pet that you're not expecting. And I know that Lenny was frail and his health wasn't great, but I mean it was just that seemed to be doing so well. And if people remember the fort video, kid building a fort in the woods, let's be kids and build a fort in the woods. In that video, I had pointed out the fact that Lenny had followed me down to the creek in an unusual manner. And I didn't say it, but I thought it. I thought, gosh, I hope this doesn't mean that something bad is going to happen to Lenny. I didn't want to say it because I do believe in the power of suggestion. And there was one more time that he had hung out with me down there. I'd walked Riley, Luna, and Lenny walk around the property. We stopped at the creek. It was a hot day. We dipped in the creek. Riley and Luna went back up to the house. They came back up to the house here, and Lenny, I didn't know, had stayed. So I got back up to where I'm going to put the fort, and there was Lenny waiting for me. And this is the last video that I have of Lenny, which was just a few days before he died. It's really the last video, the last photo that I have, this little bit.
You're a good little dog, Lenny. You're a good little dog. Oh, yeah. You're hanging out with your mom down here. It's a little freckle or something. A little freckle. Let's see. Oh, you're missing some teeth.
And that's it. It's been I feel like we've had a bit of a rough few months, and that's life. I'm not saying that I know that, things could always be worse, and there are a lot of people out there that have it way worse. So I always try to keep perspective of that, but it has been challenging for us the last few months. And then just to lose Lenny on top of that has just kind of thrown an extra wrench in it. And then on top of that, we've had other, concerns about after Lenny's death, just with the, his cremains, and that whole process was different for us this time than it had previously been with our other pets. And there's still a lot of unanswered questions about that, but nonetheless, it's just been a bit of an emotional roller coaster. I've not felt like myself lately. Trying to get this deck done. We have so many other things going on. The yard is all dug up. We've had gas people here, window washers here. It's just been a lot going on. And in that process, in the last video I put out, I was even gonna talk about it a little bit, and then I couldn't even wrap my head around it. But other things had happened, like for the first time I had sawed partially into a log stop, one of the metal log stops, which I've never done before. That was the day after I found out about Lenny. So just distracted and just kind of distraught and just not focused. And then I'd wanted to do some milling projects for some other people. And I was trying to get some slabs, and I had this big chunk of cedar on there. Cutting into it, I just realized it was not gonna work because there was too many carpenter ants all into the good solid log. And I thought may as well just get it off there. Late, it was kind of in the end of the day. I was tired. I should have just waited, but I wanted to get that off and then get a new one on to start the next day on that. And I, long story short, accidentally knocked the whole sawmill over with the bobcat. It took me a day and a half plus a few hours. It took me a long time to put the sawmill back together, and it's basically kind of together just enough that I can use it the rest of the season. But I need to rebuild it next year, or, there's a bit of damage to it. Like the gas tank is all crushed, and thank goodness I didn't even try to film. I didn't have the camera out for that, because if I did, my camera would have gotten wrecked. My chainsaw almost got smashed. It was just kind of a disaster, to be honest. And I didn't film any of it because I just couldn't even go there. I just needed to get the work done. Yeah, I've just not felt like myself lately, and trying to post, when Scout passed away. Scout died tragically too. He was the 3-legged senior hound that we got out of the SPCA, and he tragically drowned in a creek at, the middle of nowhere. And it took us a month before we found him. And I was very open about that process, and taking you along, or the viewers, like people on YouTube or whatever. I was open about that journey. And this time it's felt really different. It's just felt very hard to open up about it. Still hard to talk about it. I mean, I talk about it to myself every day, but I'm trying to get to this point. Both Steve and I. Steve is still distraught too. We just hold a lot of guilt that, if we'd have seen him Monday, I think we could have saved him, because I'm pretty confident that Lenny laid there alive a lot longer than he laid there dead, and that's a hard pill to swallow. So we just carry a lot of guilt. But the point of what we do this for is to take these dogs in and give them a second chance at life. And Lenny had 2 amazing years with us. And that's what we need to focus on. Luna definitely misses Lenny. I mean, we're just disappointed too. Our own dogs, the neighbor dogs, were over and literally 10 feet away from him, and no dog, no nothing noticed that something was unusual down that ditch. So many things that we're upset at ourselves about. I think that's all I need to say. Have been incredibly sad lately. Even in the last video, I did my best to kind of keep myself together. The first day of the video was the day that Lenny disappeared on the driveway, and he seemed fine. There didn't seem to be anything wrong, and then he literally just between 7:20 and 8 p.m., Steve saw him at 7:20, and I came back from the sawmill at 8. Somewhere in that time, something changed with his heart, and he knew something wasn't well. I do have a video for tomorrow. See, I'm going to post this video Saturday. I do have a regular video to come out Sunday, tomorrow, Sunday, August. No, today is August. September 2nd. September 1st. A video to come out September 1st. I don't know what that video is going to be like. I feel like there's just been so much going on. You should see this place. It's like a bomb went off inside and out. My goodness. But I've just been throwing the camera up. I'm going to try to piece together a video of what's been going on, and then hopefully get back on track with some of my other stuff sooner than later. And I think that's the other thing. I feel like I haven't been able to work on the things that I want to work on that are kind of the focus of my channel, and that bothers me that I can't work on those things. But there's nothing I can really do about it. I've got to work on what I've got to work on, and this will pass, and we'll get back to the other stuff as soon as I can. So I will see you guys in the next video, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye. Yeah, Lenny gets the most.
Okay, Lenny, steak night.
Okay, Lenny. Lenny. Here you go, buddy. Welcome to your new home.